my microphone, and then I'm gonna have to mute you, so you should talk.
I should talk, even though you've muted me.
Oh, why am I only hearing one you? That's good though.
I cannot help you. Oh, oh, oh. Is it doing something? Oh, it is doing something. It
Wait,
must have just
something's
been some
weird.
weird thing.
What's going on? There we go. Now talk. Try talking. We're saying hi to everyone because everyone can hear us.
Hello, hello, I'm here, I'm
There
here.
we go. Okay, cool. Hold up. Now I have to mute you. Mute the other you. We're dealing with
No.
our technical issues.
There's been a lot of technical issues.
Yeah, it's
To
super
be fair,
weird.
I checked PlayStation Network service status and it says they are having problems because too many people are staying. Because I guess most of Europe's back in lockdown, right?
Oh yeah, everyone. I'm advertising our stream, but everyone in
I
Europe
will.
is going to be going nuts.
Yeah, exactly. We're all trying to get onto Final Fantasy 14. So I'll forgive them that. That seems like a reasonable problem to be having.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just a little. Oh my god.
Although we've already had one lockdown and they knew another one was coming. I feel like the government should have put money into the streaming infrastructure
It would have been good.
to make sure that people don't riot.
The people are going to get really upset. It's true. So, oh my god. So what are we talking about? I'm going to avoid the obvious news
We were
for the
talking about
moment.
PlayStation 5, how both of us didn't get one because I only decided I wanted one when they announced lockdown, and then I went to see if I could buy one, and all the pre-orders are gone. Funnily enough.
Yeah, I had a similar situation where, well, if I remember right, they did this big online thing where they're like, oh, we're going to do pre-orders, it's going to be a big deal, and we're going to line up all these retailers, and we're going to open the floodgates, and then, like, instantly every unit was purchased by scalpers. Like, immediately, who were
Ah,
just going to resell them on eBay, and then they were like, oh, I guess that's our whole first run, sorry. So, like, now I'm in that
yeah,
weird
that.
position that makes me furious, where it's like, this is a physical object that's mass-produced, and I would like to buy one, but I can't for no good
Yeah.
reason that I can think of. And it's like, I don't mind. I'll wait. It's not going to kill me. But like,
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that excited for the pre-order because, like, I don't think the launch lineup's that great. Like, I don't even know why I want one now, but
yeah.
I do.
Well, you know what? You know why I would want
Because
one?
it's something to do.
Well, no, it's an upgrade.
Oh, for the boost on Final 14? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like it makes all your existing games just run faster and better. So it's kind of like, okay, that
yeah.
sounds great.
And surely the patch for 14 in December is gonna come with the PS5
Yeah.
upgrade on it,
And having the PS run as well
for
as my
sure.
PC for Final Fantasy would be nice. But I don't need it. Like, it's not like I'm
Yeah.
dying for it. It's just like, okay. And I'm considering now, I'm like, well, with all the new PC parts coming out, new CPUs, new GPUs, I'm like, oh, maybe I should just build a new PC and just do that.
Yeah, I know you like doing that.
I do.
Yeah, you've
It's
now got
super
lockdown.
fun.
Yeah, see, I feel I should have learned after I didn't get a Switch for the first lockdown. And I was like,
Mm,
I should have recognized that my error of my ways and fixed it before it happened.
it's possible. It's possible. I can't. But I don't know. The thing is, today, I don't know what we want to do today because the election just ended. It just got called.
Because democracy's working out for you.
Democracy is working out for us more than I could have. I mean, I'll be honest. Tuesday was a pretty grim evening.
I've got to be honest, like, everyone's excited, but I'm like, dudes, you did really bad. The Democrats did bad.
Well,
Like, they may have got through on the skin of their teeth, but this is not a good outcome.
I think it's something that there's going to take a little more time and worth and study to understand. This definitely was not the
Mm.
landslide repudiation that I would have wanted at all. Sure. Incredibly disappointing. That's why Tuesday night was like the worst. I was just sitting there being like, what
Mm.
is this? Um,
Yeah, right?
but at the same time, like, it wasn't quite. Like, in the long run, it wasn't quite the worst because there were a lot of states that got flipped back. There were new states that were flipped. Um, Texas, the Democrat performance in Texas was like remarkable. Not enough to flip the state, but
Do you know what?
remarkable.
I'm not surprised at that. Like, I have family and friends in Texas. Most of them are Republicans. And a lot of them were like, we don't like Trump. We want our Republican Party back. And I'm like, I may disagree with them on lots of topics. They're still reasonable people.
Well, that's part
They
of the
didn't vote
thing.
for Trump the first time round, and I imagine less didn't vote for Trump the second time round.
That's part of the thing that does need to be discussed about all this is like, what does it mean? And I think
Mm.
like I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about this, but I'll finish talking about the national map first before I get into my
Mm.
overall thoughts. Um, Georgia going blue is insane. It's been like what 25, 50 years. It's been a huge amount of time since Georgia's ever gone blue.
I, in all seriousness, didn't realize that Georgia was a real state.
Yeah,
I thought it was
full of real people.
like something they made up for Walking. Oh, I thought it was something they made up for The Walking Dead, like Kansas or something.
Kansas is real. We just don't care
Kansas.
much about it. Mm-hmm.
You mean like the girl who has to tap her shoes together, Dorothy?
Yeah, she wanted to go back to Kansas.
That's
her big
real?
square state. That's all real. You didn't know I hope you knew Kansas was real. Come on.
This
You're
is my takeaway
educated.
from. Okay, do you know how many counties in the UK do you know? I bet you know 0.
I probably would recognize more names than you know just because so many board games have like UK things in them. Ooh, I just got an email saying that I'm live. So I just got told that I'm on stream.
Yeah, no, but like I think I could name more. I certainly can name a lot more states and put them, like, actually point them on a map now, because that's all the BBC has been showing is a big map of the United States. So I've got a good handle of my geography now. But yeah, it's I mean, I guess I don't have much understanding of the United States. It just seems like such a big area.
Oh, it's a huge area.
So,
there's so much stuff, and the Electoral College is such a mess. But like, I don't know, the Senate, like, it's hard. There was a lot of big expectations going into the race because all the polling was looking a certain way, and I really think people have underestimated how much polling is not a meaningful thing anymore. And it's funny because when I hear the polling people talking about their work, they're straight up like, we get no responses. Like, it's very difficult for them to get responses from people. And so now, like, because you're now, like, getting responses from the type of person who responds to a poll. And I think that's something that's not really factoring in.
They've had that big problem in the UK for decades, basically, because conservative voters, like, when they actually, they used to do the polling door to door, right? So an actual person would come to your door, or they would call you and say, who are you going to vote? And not very many people would admit to another person that they were going to vote for the Conservative Party. So they'd always say, oh, I'm undecided, or I'm going to vote for the Liberal Democrats or some other party, right? So we'd always call them shy Tories, right? Shy conservatives. But I don't think that's the problem in America. I don't think the people who vote for Trump are shy as such, but I think it's more like, as you say, they're not managing to reach them because, they're not picking up their phone, or they're not going to the right places. I bet you all these posters are located in California and New York.
It's not just that. It's the change in our lives. Like think back to when I was a young lad of 0 years old in the mid 1980s. Like, at that point in time, mass communication was so different. You had television, you had radio, you had media and mail and all those things. But it was very rare that someone was going to call up your house and be like, hey, I want your input, I want your opinion, I want to know about your data and preferences. And what do we do to people today from the moment they open their eyes to the moment they go to sleep at night, and even while they're asleep, thank you, Train, is we attempt to juice out of them constantly. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you think. Tell me your preference. People are being constantly asked to give their thoughts, and they're to some degree exhausted of it. A pollster calling is another annoying advertiser trying to make you spend your valuable time telling them advertising information like everyone else wants to know. And like people have built their lives around like not dealing with this stuff. I think it's hard now to do representative sampling. I almost feel like, now this is maybe a little heavy-handed, but I would almost feel like it should be like jury duty, where it's like, I mean, here a lot of the selected to go and be polled.
But now a lot of the pollsters just pay.
But that's also going to like bias things a bit too, and especially when you have pollsters. You can have pollsters who are dishonest. I'm not saying pollsters are dishonest, but you can have dishonest pollsters trying to produce a specific result. And like, if there's financial benefit in it for me, it becomes a little weird. I don't know. I feel like that's...
I don't see particularly a problem. Like, I had to fill in for the Food Standards Agency here. Like, you have to fill in this big form. No one's going to fill it in. And then they're like, we'll give you £20 worth of Amazon vouchers if you fill it in. And I suddenly become very motivated to tell them what I ate that week,
That's even... Oh, that makes me super uncomfortable, though.
Is it? Why?
Because...
You've been selected randomly?
You get selected randomly. It's £20 of Amazon vouchers?
Yeah.
So
Who do you
now,
think
like, but again,
that's all I data to?
maybe this is being very American of me, but it's like the money involved in your political process is directly connected to the fortunes of a specific company. Like you are getting, like, you're not just being paid money that you can do what you want with. By responding to the poll, you are
Yeah,
like
okay.
benefiting Amazon.
You know, you made a good point. Let me double check whether it was Amazon vouchers or whether it was one of those generic
Yeah.
vouchers. Like, they won't just give you cash. It'll definitely be like one of those love to shop vouchers where you can use it in multiple retailers. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of BS if you ask me.
Well, they
But
only do that because gift certificates are better because people don't redeem them and thusly they become free.
also, I think our government sold a lot of our personal data already to Amazon, so Amazon probably just gives them vouchers for free anyway.
Yeah, like an internal.
um,
It's true. Like, yeah, when someone, I think I did a phone poll a few years ago, and I did it straight up out of this sense of like weird civic duty because I was just like, "Who are you? You want to what?" And like my immediate response was like, "I should just hang up. This is stupid." And then I was like, "But if they don't poll me, this has got me into trouble many times, by the way. I'm not saying this is like the quote unquote right way to be, but I thought to myself, if I don't go through with this poll, like I am a representative voter." So like I should, I guess. I guess maybe it's good for everything to just to do it. I
oh, do you know
do
what? I'm
do
sorry,
that
I did lie to
for
you. It's not necessarily an Amazon voucher. It's a love to shop e-voucher, and that's most of the big
okay,
retailers
so it's a
signed up
little
for
more
that
broad. So
program.
it's not that's fine, I guess. It's true. I do
I
that.
mean,
I do draw
really,
out
like
calls.
this is a large thing. Like, no one is doing this for free.
No, I do. I draw out
Like a
calls
census.
when it's like weird calls, like calls that come up and they're like, the warranty on your vehicle is expiring, and what I always do with that is I go as far as I can to get a person, and I just insist that if they can tell me the make and model of my vehicle, I will buy whatever they're selling. I'm like, I will take your best warranty. I just need you to tell me the make and model of the vehicle because I've never owned a vehicle, not even once. So it's like, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm more offended that they're calling someone who is provably not in their target market. Like if I did own a vehicle, I'd almost be less upset that they were BSing me. But yeah, it's over. It's all over. The election's over, and I think I don't know. The question now becomes like, yeah, what do we do?
It's not over though, is it? It's really not over.
Well, the politics aren't over. The election's over. They,
Yeah,
they could
okay.
be they could be fishing if they're trying to get like details out of you or something like that. I've definitely had people do that. I've had people. I followed up on a call. I wasted the time of a call of someone who's like, they said, "Oh, this is Apple. We've seen all kinds of access to your iCloud that's not permitted. We need you to download a thing on your phone." And they wanted me to download TeamViewer. And of course, like I'm going through all of this with them, just being like, "Oh yeah, and then they're like, "What is the number on TeamViewer?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6." And the guy on the other end of the phone's like, "Do you think I'm stupid?" I'm like, "Really, dude? Like you called me trying to scam me with this bullshit. So I think you like now you're offended?
Yeah.
Like you don't have the right."
I don't know. I just don't answer the phone to unknown numbers. Like,
I
I just don't.
usually don't. It depends on whether I'm feeling bored and spiteful at that moment. But again, these people like what makes me angry about that is also like some things I get it. It's just a job, right? You're a telemarketer. You call people. You try to sell them a thing. And the person on the phone with me is just probably some poor person who has a not so great job, and they're trying to do their best. And like I don't like what they're doing. I wish it wasn't what they were doing, but I can't like get mad at them. But when it's stuff like that, when
Yeah,
it's
that's
scams
the
like
difference.
that, because these things really just target people who are old and confused. They target grandmas and grandpas who pick up the phone. They hear this dire-sounding official announcement. They're like, "Oh my word, something's wrong and I don't understand, and I'll just do what the nice person on the phone is telling me to because clearly, like, they know." You know, it's a trust game of people who don't know any better, and I think that's just cruel. And you don't not know that you're doing
Yeah,
that
that's
also.
my problem with it all.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
like my grand, she got scammed out some money by someone who called, and it was again, she was convinced that this person was from her bank,
yeah.
and I'm like, you can't trust the people on the phone. Like, how do they have phone numbers if they're not? I'm like, oh my
Oh my
god,
god.
like I get but in some ways she's right. Like, why are people given phone numbers without any kind of checks?
Expediency, cell phone
I
system.
mean, I can't get a cell phone. I can't get a cell phone contract with a cell phone number unless I've gone through a credit check. So how are these people buying huge banks of numbers without any seeming checks? That
Because
pisses
well, it's
me off.
because of I don't know. As far as I'm aware, it's because of what happened with VoIP providers like Google Voice and stuff like that. They can just hand out phone. They built a system where they're like, well, we're Google, so obviously we're trustworthy, and we just hand out these numbers to everyone because our business model is just like shit stuff all over everyone, and who cares? And then when some bad things
I've not
happen,
thought
they
of that.
claim to have enforcement mechanisms, which I don't really know if they do or not.
Yeah, I mean, so they're like telling me like, we have to do all these checks on you in case you're a terrorist who wants a phone. But those people, those fuckers, they can get phone numbers like they're candy.
Yep. Yep. And again, I feel like the
But
people
this is
on
also,
those lines, they don't deserve my pity
mm,
because you know what you're doing when you know your job is to basically talk old people through being scammed. Like, there's no way you're just some schlub working a not so great. Like, come on, man. I can't excuse that.
yeah.
What are you drinking?
I don't know.
Is that a?
Some chocolate milkshake. I'm being non-alcoholic today. I've had
Oh
much
yeah.
bad news this week,
What's
so
going?
I'm
What's going
trying
on?
to not drink it. My gerbils had a big bloody fight, and I've had to separate them, and now I've got gerbils in like 4 tanks in my life.
That's
Everywhere.
a lot of gerbil
It
strife.
was it was really violent. It was quite scary. I thought they were going to kill each other, and then of course, because like in fighting animals, you're not really supposed to get involved because then they fight you.
Are you? Is that the
You
rule?
want- I mean, when they try to fight, like they're not thinking anymore. They just bite, 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 right? Like once they get into that kind of mode where they're going to kill the other animal, they're just So you're not really supposed to put your hands in. But I'd thrown water on them to try and distract them to stop them from fighting, and I was there trying to hit them with like a towel to try and stop them, and they wouldn't. So in the end, I had to grab them, and then they started biting me, and I had bites all over my hand.
I,
It's been a bad, stressful couple of days, and it's like I feel
Jeez.
stressed because even though they're small, like, and now I don't know what to do with them anymore. It's been, but anyway, that's why I'm not having alcohol. 'Cause I might just cry over these small creatures whose lives I've ruined. Yeah. Look at this. I've been studying the whole day. It was nice to have someone to talk to that day. One money. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
don't
was
let
imagining
random
we could.
people into your apartment, though. That's not good.
But the other problem with this phone thing, though, of not picking up my phone, that's basically why the test and trace system does not work in the UK. Like, because they
Hmm.
call you, right, if you've been in close contact with someone. And I'm like, they're going to call me? I'm never going to pick up
Yeah,
the
like, I don't
phone.
know
Like,
who's
can they
that.
send me a Discord message or something?
Yeah, like, can't they use?
Like,
Honestly, I would
what?
actually be interested to some degree if there was some kind of. That might be not a bad idea. Some kind of official government messaging app where I knew that
Well, there
messages
should
I
be,
got were like
because
validated and important to me.
yeah, because I mean, I'm not going to believe someone who, like, if I pick up the phone, they're like, hello, we're from the National Health Service. You need to stay indoors for 14 days. Like, I've already had enough scam calls saying, we know that you left your apartment during lockdown. You have to give us 100 quid now. Like, I've had enough of those scam calls. I'm not going to
No,
believe
you're right.
someone telling me they're the NHS.
Yeah, like I
Hey,
do
Siri.
wonder if I mean maybe that's a worthwhile product to build is like like what you want is like verifiable message distribution where you can like
Yeah.
authenticate that I'm me in some
Yeah.
reasonable way. You can say you have a message maybe for just me or for a whole class of people, and then like you can see that I opened or saw the message or somehow acknowledge or even ask me to acknowledge the message in some way.
Yeah.
Like little things like that don't have a good infrastructure right now, and it doesn't seem like it's even that
No,
hard.
I mean, like the tax office here, they have my email and they're like, oh, we send you this email. I'm like, you have to put it in the post. 'Cause I don't trust anything that comes by email.
I trust
Like
email from time. Well,
someone,
but I would. There's some things I don't like. I would trust minor updates and little things, but like, yeah, if it's like, please respond with your social security number, I'd be like, mm.
yeah, exactly. They were always like, you have a tax rebate, click here to claim. I'm like, nope, I'm not
Yes,
clicking nothing.
mm.
You can call me. I probably won't pick up, but you can send me a letter and I will
Yeah,
respond.
I will respond to the letter. Did I get any? I haven't
Yeah,
gotten any
but
exciting
yeah,
letters.
but yeah, no, I'm, yeah, I learned a lot about America. It's been a
Oh
very
yeah, yeah.
interesting
It's
week.
been very edgy. I can be happy on it. Like, again, it all ended up okay. That's what matters.
It was a stressful few days, though.
It was incredibly stressful for those of you who are not American. Let me tell you, it was incredibly stressful. Um, People here, at least within my sphere, within my area, do definitely care a lot about this outcome, and we're very, very, like,
I really hope now, though, that the Republican Party get a good, honest leader now, because I
nope,
really strongly feel that there has to be an opposition, though, a good opposition
there
to
won't be,
keep.
there
Even if
won't
you're
be.
even if you're on the side of the people who are currently in power, you always need an opposition to stop those people going
Oh, I
crazy.
mean, no, I agree with that in a broad sense. But the U.S. Republican Party is going to do nothing but obstruct any attempt anyone makes to do anything.
Okay, well,
That is what they do.
I hope the conservative voters manage to find a better party then, or something to represent them
I mean,
better in
the
American
biggest
politics,
problem, the
because they've
biggest
been severely
problem.
let down.
Oh, have they? They all came out and voted.
I think so.
If they were
Well, I
severely
think
let
I
down,
don't. Having friends and family who are, I'm gonna say Republican with a little R because we say conservative with a little C. Like they're
hmm
people who have conservative values. Um, I think it is sad when you don't have a home, when you don't have
well,
people
but
who
the
can
problem,
represent
and
your.
again, I'm gonna be speaking about this from an American perspective, so I'll put that
Mhm.
disclaimer around it because I know that especially with terms like conservative, there are very different meanings and
Mm.
political meanings in
Yeah.
different places. But the problem is, from an American perspective,
Mm.
what has been proven over these past 4 years in terms of principles and not necessarily in terms of individuals is that
Mm.
conservative is just a club, a
I'm queuing, by
label.
the way.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
queuing, by the
Oh,
way,
you're
because we've
queuing.
been
Oh, hold on.
on stream for 23 minutes, so I should at least queue for the
Let me at
mahjong.
least get my thing ready so that I can watch you. Sorry. We'll get
Yeah,
ready
you
to
know what,
actually
and
throw
that's
back.
another. That's actually a sad thing I feel for American conservatives. Like, okay, the current Conservative Party in the UK here is batshit insane. However, the previous, incarnation, I was like, yeah, do you know what? They're not too bad. I don't like them, but they're okay. They're the ones who permit who voted for gay marriage to come through. Good for them. Do you know what I mean? Good for them.
I do, but like, so the thing is, yeah, what we've proven over these past 4 years is, yeah, conservative is a club, it's an identity, it's a name for who you think you are, and it's not attached, or at least again, I'm talking about broad things, not individuals. It's not attached to principles. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The commentary, the media sphere will just be like, well, the conservative position is X, where X
Oh,
is not the other, not someone else's position, and then they'll all just do X, and because that's what it means to be a conservative, it's the cart very much leading the horse in this case. The principles are gone. It's over. There's no
yeah,
bringing that back because everyone's having too much fun being a member of the club,
yeah.
and that's where you
Yeah,
get this big challenge.
rather than contributing and being, critiquing the policies and the theories that
Oh
are
yeah, no, no
being
one cares.
pursued. But do you know what? I think we can say that just as much about the left. Are the Democrats the left? Are they the left? Is that what we call the left these days? Or the
They're more
liberals? Are they
leftist.
neoliberals?
I don't know.
Are
Neoliberal is
they-
a really weird term that people apply to certain things, and I'm not sure if I like it. Okay, here I can switch to actually doing gameplay. So look at that gameplay. We got gameplay. We got Gemma wandering around.
Waiting for the cue to pop.
I
But
don't
yeah,
think it's the fault
yeah.
of the
I think
Electoral
the
College,
electoral.
Carol. I actually disagree. The Electoral College did not cause this shift. It's the fault. If I was going to assign fault, I would almost assign the fault to physics. I would almost assign the fault to like human nature. Um,
Mm.
and I would also assign the fault to the uncomfortable realities of messaging.
A
Um,
lot of people.
I mean, the Electoral College has a huge impact on how campaigns are performed, in that you're right. It means that there are like a few states that matter and a lot of states that just kind of don't because everyone knows how they're going to go. It does mean that there's not much incentive to deliver things, right? Like Republicans in New York State don't care. I mean, maybe on a local level, maybe they do, because there are definitely plenty of Republicans winning local elections in New York State. But like, is New York going to go for a Republican president or Republican senators? The answer is kind of no. It's not going to happen. So like, who cares about doing anything good for New York? New York's never going to give you back anything in terms of vote, which is not good. Um, the challenge is, and this is a legitimate challenge, even though people don't like to acknowledge it. The challenge is, if you go the other way and you say it's straight up popular vote, then all of these big states do have this overwhelming, powerful advantage to the smaller states. And when someone says, like, what about farmers in Kansas? It's really easy for, New York and LA and all these huge population centers to be like, screw them. They're 20,000 votes and we're 200 million votes. They can never vote for anything good for themselves. They'll never get it. So like you do have that challenge. I don't think the Electoral College is the best way of facing the challenge, but I do think there is a legitimate idea there where it's like you don't want everywhere that's not a major city to just be completely ignored because of the fact that they don't have the numerics to be valuable. But that's like previous generation of problems with American politics. Like present generation of problems with American politics is really a lot about this identity campaigning where Republican is now much more of an identity than a political philosophy, and the Republican Party was able to get away with not even publishing a platform this year. They didn't. They were just like, we're going to do whatever Trump says. That's our platform. Because their voters, many of their voters are not particularly engaged.
I don't think you can level that criticism only at the Republicans. I think that the left and the liberals, or whoever we're going to call them, are exactly the same problem. You have, they've got a menu of things that you must believe if you want to be considered one of them.
So yes and no.
I mean, I come from a rural area, right? So I'll be quite honest. Probably, my root instincts are going to lean towards the conservative. Having then, gone out and got degrees and lived in cities, I've shifted towards the left. However, I can't mix and match from the smorgasbord of ideas. That's the problem, right?
Well,
I can't have one opinion which would be maybe considered a little bit more conservative and still, without being bullied by my leftist colleagues.
Well,
which is I think.
I'm going to say I don't disagree with you. I think there's a mode of engagement that has become popular that is very damaging, which is that I try to take your opinion, but I actually, again, from a very Amerocentric perspective, from my perspective. So again, there's definitely other ways.
We should just rename this the American and the Brit Talk.
A little bit, yeah. I'm disclaiming this a lot, but I'm trying to imply that I do recognize that, like, I have one view and one historical path that I'm looking at that I'm very familiar with, and it's different for other people. Yeah. But a lot of this did start with the culture wars in the 90s that the Republicans really put forward, where it started to be something like, if you think women deserve access to abortions, you are a murderer of babies. And that was one of the levers. And so it's, do you vote for us or do you vote for the baby murderers? And this was a very effective lever. This has a lot of people to this very day saying things like, I hate Donald Trump and I hate the Republican Party and I hate what they're doing, but I have to vote for them. Because otherwise, I'm voting for baby murder. Okay, but
that narrative has infected the left, and they've swung the other way. So, as a woman, I'll speak as a woman now. People now can't have conversations about, there's a big drive I'm not sure about Europe, but definitely in the UK, there's a big drive to test for any type of what they would consider abnormality, like Down syndrome, right? Mm-hmm. And to abort those fetuses if they've got any significant chance of having Down syndrome. And in this day and age, is having Down syndrome the worst? I'm not sure. I mean, it plays with eugenics, right?
I mean, that becomes a difficult question on a lot of fronts.
It's a very difficult question. I don't want to get into that question. However, I think it's something that's worth debating. But if you try to raise that debate in, these kind of liberal lefty spheres, then you're suddenly becoming anti-abortion. I'm not anti-abortion. I just think that these conversations should be had.
I haven't heard that train of logic being used. But I think this is something that the left has taken on as a method of dialogue, which is very harmful, is to be like, we are, I am pro this, and if you're not pro something, or if you don't engage with that thing in the same way as me, I need to make you feel terrible about it, and I need to label you as the worst, because by doing that, fascist. I can now strong arm you into having to agree with me, because otherwise you're the worst. Yeah, and it's that mode of dialogue I think is very, very harmful, and I think you there's a lot of reasons why I think that has gained traction on multiple fronts. And part of it, I think, again, in America, has been because the right was very successful with the abortion campaign. Of straight up just saying, our opponents are baby murderers. They murder the babies. That's what they do. That's how it works. So you can't vote for them because they murder the babies. And it's like,
I had this strange, so when I was living with my housemate in Frankfurt, he was from Northern Ireland and I was from the UK. But at some point, we've both been shown the same horrifying anti-abortion video from the States called The Silent Scream.
oh, you told me about this,
And
yeah.
I remember it, and it haunts me to this day. It's one of the most terrifying things I've ever been forced to watch at the impressionable age of 13 or something. And one day we were drunk, and he was like, "Can I tell you the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to me?" I'm like, "Go." He's like, "You told me about this abortion movie." Like, I had to watch it too. And I'm like, "So yeah." And now, I get to look back at that piece of propaganda, which is what it is. Now I can see that it really was just that narrative that you're saying. It's full of nonsense.
It's meant
they've
to show you
videos.
viscerally, to make you viscerally feel like this is a horrible thing that cannot be allowed to happen.
But they've manipulated it. It wasn't even as if they were presenting facts. They had manipulated videos and misused information. As you said, to make it more visceral, to be something it wasn't.
Of course.
Abortion's obviously not a pleasant thing anyway. No one's suggesting it's a pleasant thing, and this idea that some people seem to hold that women just are having them for jollies.
Yeah,
they've
so
obviously
about it. I mean, I've said that I've tried to explain this to multiple people. Also, I've always been like, I've known some people in my life who have had to make that decision and made various decisions about it. And if there's one constant that I found in talking with them about it, and what they shared with me about it, it was a really serious decision that they were taking very seriously. It was very hard for them. No, I've never known anyone whose approach to something like that was just like, whatever, I'll just, doodly-doo, like, who cares? Like, I've never, ever seen anyone approach that with the lack of the gravity and seriousness that it requires, I think, demands. It's a very serious choice. And, like, to some degree, I wish there was some acknowledgement of the humanity there. Like, yeah, it's hard. Even people who think that this is something they want to do take it really hard. And why, we should be more compassionate with how we engage people. And I mean, Carol, you're right. It is more effective to sway opinions by telling people that their enemy is bad. And the other thing that I think people don't remember, and I remember because I had to learn about it when I was in school, and that's very, very indicative of a political thing, and again, within the United States, blah, 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 disclaimer, is the Great Awakening. Not many people study the Great Awakening in the United States. It's not a very popular time. But basically what you had was everyone getting really hyped to be Christian. And you had all these people going around the U.S. with their tent revivals. They set up the tent, and it was anyone. It wasn't even like a particular denomination. Like, people didn't want to be Catholic. It was just people would just show up, and they'd set up a tent, and they'd hold up a Bible, and they'd start preaching whatever they were preaching. And I don't even know if it was good or bad. I'm sure it was just a diverse set of things, and some people might have been very well intended. But people were so hyped to be a part of something, and that, I think, has been a big part. Everyone talks about how they can't believe that people go to these Trump rallies and they chant the things and they say the things and these people really believe it. But when you get there and, like, you talk to the people, if you watch, like, All Gas No Breaks and some of the other folks who, like, go to the Trump rallies and talk to the people, these people don't care. Like, they don't have incredibly strong policy opinions. What they have is a club membership. They're psyched to go to the place where everyone agrees with them, and they're all wearing the merch, and it's like a sports game, and they all do the chant, and they all cheer for the guy, and they all boo the enemy like a wrestling match, and, like, that's what they're doing. And
okay, I will share my unpopular opinion that I think that maybe we prematurely lost religion. They would have an outlet for this because they get to go to church and sing, "He's got the whole world in his hands." And, and you have your merch when you get to have your indulgences and you get to get it all out your system and you get to feel like you're connected to the people in your community. And we've lost all of that. And now they've looked for something else. And I don't blame them, but my God.
Yeah, and that's why all this Republican identity politics is all about this, like, whole, like, we are. That's why we got these crazy videos, like this lady talking about, like, I forget who it was, some lady in Nevada or something, talking about how Republican, she's just literally sitting in her SUV, giving her little, like, weird vacant stare monologue about how she's such a Republican, and she just, like, picks up and holds up a Bible, and then picks up and holds up a gun and puts the gun on top of the Bible. She doesn't even mention them. She doesn't even mention them. But this is like the icons of the faith almost. This is like, look at me showing the things that make me. And I'm not even making an opinion statement on the value of the Bible or the gun. It could be anything.
No.
It could have been a cactus and a squeegee. It could have been anything. But for the people she's talking to, these are the icons of our community. These are the things about us that makes us us, that we're very proud of, and that we're never going to let anyone take away because this is us. And that is a very strong human feeling. That is not an easy thing to divest people of. And the biggest problem is that the Democrats, again, United States, blah, 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 have a message that feels bad.
Yeah, you know what? Progressives generally do feel bad because you have to unpick shit and it feels nasty.
Yeah. I mean, and they're not wrong. Like, there's plenty of stuff to feel bad about. There's plenty of terrible ways we treated people in this country. There's plenty of terrible things we've done and continue to do to people in this country. There's lots to feel bad about. But the problem is, most people don't want to feel bad.
You got a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's always interesting watching America because I always feel it's like, you know, hooked into this American dream that you can go there and you can also become a millionaire, when really that's not true anymore. It may have been true at one point, but it's not true anymore. At least we don't have that here. Everyone knows that you were born poor, you will stay poor. Stay in your lane.
America, I think there are a lot of systemic problems here, but I don't think the dream is as dead as one might imagine. I think class mobility is hard. I think we have a lot of inequality.
Yeah, exactly.
But class mobility is practically hard and not socially hard. Like, if you gave someone $10 million and they became rich, I mean, no one would be like, you can't have that. No one would be like, you can't do this or you're not allowed here. Your money's good. It's just getting that money is now nearly impossible.
Yeah, well, in the end, to get money, you have to have more money in the first place, right?
Oh, yeah, having money lets you make so much money. It's great.
Yeah,
like,
right. And that's
you just make
a lot of it now
make your money into more money forever.
Yeah, since the 90s and the whole kind of, you know, Wall Street, it's all been about passive income rather than active income, you know?
Yeah.
This idea that, you know, labor is actually distributing the wealth. It's not. The wealth distributes the wealth itself. It's crazy. But yeah, anyway, congratulations! You've got a new president. I'm actually not a big fan of Biden. Or Kamala. Is it Kamala?
I think it's Kamala. It might be Kamala.
Harris.
Anyway, I think it's Kamala.
I'm not.
I feel bad.
I'm not massively keen Biden Harris.
Meh.
But, you know.
Most people's vibe on it has just been like, okay. In terms of, like, they're legit. I mean, they're enthused about what's happened, but their enthusiasm for Biden Harris is kind of like, eh. I have a little bit of hope after it. I feel like good things are going to come out of it. But yeah, no one wants another 4 years of this.
Would be nice. Yeah, a bit of calm would be nice. But it's a really bad show for the UK, obviously, because Biden has already made himself quite clear that he is not a big fan of our particular brand of nut jobbery. So that doesn't well for our Brexit negotiations.
Oh, no.
But I'm okay with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm okay with that. I hope that someone... They used to say that in the 90s, I remember.
Be a Brentrance.
Yeah, didn't they make a movie called The 51st State or something as a joke?
They might have.
I think.
Let's just take
you wouldn't even let us be a state. You wouldn't even let us be a state. We'd be like Puerto Rico or whatever the other places
Puerto
that
Rico
you're not
just
allowed
voted
to
to become a state for the first time.
Oh, they did?
Well, what's happened, to be clear, is this is the first time that Puerto Rico had on the ballot an initiative that was straight up, should we be a state, yes or no? I think previously there was an initiative that had like multiple options, and one of which was statehood. And the statehood option did win that ballot. However, that has no binding anything. Weirdly, like your country's weird where people vote for things and then they actually do them and then talk for years about how they must do them.
We didn't used to be like that. We used to have votes and everyone knew that nothing happened. This is the first time that we're like, wait, what? You're going to really do it?
Super weird. But now it is true that there is a mandate from Puerto Rico, so the Senate could now effectively say, we will make Puerto Rico a state. I don't have any idea how that would ever get through the Senate at this juncture, the way the Senate works right now. But, yeah, 74 days, just got to get through it. I'll just sleep for 74 days.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to the legal, like, I'm like, surely someone should be countersuing now. Like, they're making all these accusations that it was all fraudulent without any basis. And, like, they're saying that the Democrats are doing the fraud. So I'm like, why aren't the Democrats countersuing for, what's it?
Definitely,
libel.
It doesn't matter. I don't know if our law allows it. And again, the whole thing, this is all just telling your people what the story should be that they tell themselves. This is the only reason any of it's happening. They know none of the lawsuits are going to do anything, but now they have their narrative so they can tell their constituents it was obviously a fraud, it was obviously stolen, it was obviously blah, 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 and now they can continue with their image of themselves. How long have you been in queue?
I've been in queue for 15 minutes now.
Jeez.
And this is on the basic one, right? I only queued for basic, right?
I sure hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. You might have to queue if we want it to pop. But yeah, it's well, I don't know. I've learned a lot about America over the last 4 years, and I could do with learning a little less now for the next 4 years.
Do you
You
know
know,
the?
I don't think I like any. I don't like any politician though, so I'm kind of,
No.
I always, known that I'd only be able to. I didn't even like Obama. He was a dick.
I.
Am I allowed to say that?
You are allowed to say that. You are free to express your political opinions here in America.
I mean,
I
okay, so I'm sure he's a lovely man and he made some really nice speeches. And you know what? I always appreciated when he cried when there was a mass murder. That was nice, like that. However, he did also make it so I have to hand over my Facebook password at the border to the US. And I don't like that.
I don't know. I was disappointed by Obama. I don't dislike him, but I felt like and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I'm sure he had to contend with in terms of his like. Everyone kept beating him with a stick.
Oh, God, you are Bo. But I don't know. Who should we learn about next? Greece?
Greece. Oh, I like Greece. I just
It's
felt like
Greece.
Obama wasn't aggressive enough with his agenda. I felt like he held back, and he didn't do a lot of things he should have done, and he didn't push a lot of times he should have pushed because he felt like maybe if he like compromised, something good would happen. And I mean, again, maybe it was rough for him as the first black president. He felt like he didn't want to,
And
go too
in
crazy
the
or
end,
do
he's a
anything too weird.
politician. And he's a
But
statesman, he doesn't he did people liked him, like,
yeah,
all of the international people liked him, and I don't think you can't be liked if you don't want to make compromise, but that probably didn't work very well on the domestic front.
no, it was very difficult, and it was very. What? I have to enable. What's going on? My
I
chat.
really want to know which politician got like hit with a stick.
Yeah, who got hit with a stick? I need to open up Twitch now because I feel like Restream might be missing my chat, which would make me very sad.
I know you're talking about.
Oh my god. No, that's bad.
Well, we don't have
Gemma's
an
the
election
worst.
for ages now. Oh my God, Dave, what have you done?
I fixed it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, we don't have an election for ages now, so no fun there.
Oh shoot.
I do think, though,
fixing
if
everything.
we had an election tomorrow, Labour would win because they've got that Keir Starmer pretty boy. Like he looks like he would. Oh God, what do you call it in the US? Is it Axe? Axe, the
Axe?
deodorant spray.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right.
Like he looks like someone who'd smell of Axe Africa.
Yeah, I don't know if. Okay, here we go. Restream now is back in the chat. Actually,
Thank you, Mahjong Baka.
I'll be super.
Oh,
I'm gonna step in it. I'm gonna step in it about Bernie. I do like Bernie's spirit and drive. I think his policies, some of them were pretty good. Some of them were maybe a little much. Some of them maybe needed some tweaking. I don't feel like I would be angry about a Bernie Sanders presidency, but I do feel like if Bernie had run, he would have lost really, really hard. And that I think is a challenge. But I do like a lot of what he says and think a lot of what he stands for is valuable and ideas that should be in the room. Oh my God, Gemma, let's talk about Mahjong. At least a little, because this is.
Garth really likes Bernie Sanders, by the way. So if you want to make friends with Garth when you see him, tell him you like Bernie Sanders.
I see a lot of options here. I see.
Yeah, I don't think the straight's going to come through though. I'm not going to call it. It's too...
I wouldn't call it.
Oh, that's the door. I've got to call that.
Oh, are we going straight to Itsu then? Oh, it got ponged out from under you.
Yeah. So now I have to change my plans.
Yeah, I know Nelthrim.
We had a 20-minute wait for the
we were queued. We were queued.
Yeah.
The worst. That Dorapong is the worst. It's a dealer Dorapong.
I feel for you. I feel like true patriots of whatever country you're in want change for the better. And I am screwed.
A little bit. I don't know. I
No,
don't know
well,
what I think. I
the
think,
nine is safe, I think.
yeah, the 9 is safe. The 9 should definitely. Well, they threw the 7.
Not safe, safe.
If they threw the 7,
If
they
it's
can't be on the 6-9. Maybe? No.
Yeah, there's 3 7. There's 3 7s out. There's 2 8s out. So the nine is
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
safe.
yeah.
Two.
I mean, I feel like the biggest problem is people have been really aggressively convinced by people who were not afraid to shout it loudly that certain things will just destroy America, and this word, this word like socialism being thrown around without anyone even understanding what it means. They're just like, oh, socialism is bad. And there's just a lot of confusion, and I think that's the biggest problem is confusion. Ugh. Confusion can often win over clarity, because if I have a good idea, even if it's not perfect, right? I have a good idea. I have an idea that might be good, and you have no ideas because you didn't think of anything. It's very easy for you. Jeez.
Yeah, that door upon from the east zaps us nasty.
Yeah, this is just the worst.
Yes. Yes.
Sumo. All right. All right.
Best. Wow, he had another door in his hand and he threw a door? That is
That's
well,
a
Felicity.
little.
You're
A
second
little
down there,
risky.
Felicity. So yeah, okay. That's some balls. That's some balls, but I like it.
They could have had a potential Ipeko there. It would have been so much. Anyway, I don't want to crap on people. But yeah, like I think a lot of it's much easier if I have a good idea and you have no idea. It's much easier for you to just start throwing sand in my good idea and being like, maybe it won't work, maybe this, maybe that, maybe it's philosophically unsound, blah blah blah. And I think people have been pushing that direction with the easy way out. I don't think people overtly don't want things to become better, but I do think that a lot of people are, quite honestly, poor and scared and not being served very well by people who are keeping them poor and scared and telling them that everything is just too frightening or too drastic or too socialist or blah 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 to actually help them. And that what we need to do is find ways to like break through that communications barrier and help people see what things might really help them. And I don't know. I mean, if I knew how, I'd be out doing it. But
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to fix the problem.
yeah, like I don't know how to fix it, but there's got to be a way.
I mean, this fight against socialism. I think this is Cold
beer
War
time.
conversations. It's not even really that relevant anymore.
Well, we can wait for the boomers to die, but I do feel like wait for such and such to die has been an argument that's been thrown out quite a few times, and I don't know if that's. Oy.
Yeah, do you know what? I was always told, you start off life, more left, and then as you got older, you turn right. And I'm like, at what point do I go right? Like, when does it happen to me?
Well,
Hasn't
I don't
happened yet.
think that's
Like, it's gone the way through.
entirely. Oh my god. I don't think that's entirely wrong in the sense that, I mean, let's talk about myself. I have a 401k. I want the stock market to go up. I have a job in the current system. I would like to keep that. I prefer to keep that than to give it away. There are definitely things in the way the world works right now that I am invested in that I would want to retain because they're working out pretty. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. 258.
No!
Wait. Oh God. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The 2 is safe on them, so if people try to avoid them with the 2, it'll be fine. Yeah, I agree, David Tim Board. Yeah, there are things about the way the world is now that have been working out pretty okay for me, and that make me
I like
think,
Siri.
hey, it'd be cool to keep those things. Oh my God, this is rough. But the problem is, at least, well, the problem for those who imagine this is going to turn me into a right winger, is like that doesn't mean that I hate immigrants. It doesn't mean that I'm okay with all the like waste and fraud that's endemic. It doesn't mean that I'm okay with a lot of things.
Yes.
And in fact,
Sorry.
yeah, Sumo. I'm like half a
I'm
second
just
behind
more
you.
happy that I cut off that door upon. Sorry, Felicity.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. This is what we're here. Britain's drive left, turn left. I mean, it's true that I probably am more conservative than an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old is, but it's not that far that I'm like, oh, fuck everyone, I don't give a shit. You know? and I don't think it's ever going to be. I would like to live in a world where where I can feel proud of my fellow citizens and feel like they're getting a fair life and a good life just like I have.
Okay, I'm gonna phrase it. Is it because we're childless? I often wonder that. Like, is it because I don't have small mini me's to worry about that I'm not motivated to keep the world as it was when I was a kid for them.
Well, but the problem is the world is not how it was when I was a kid. I would be very upset if I had a child and my child was going to be growing up in this world because it's terrible. It's really bad.
Right.
Like,
but
remember when I mean,
we didn't have Facebook. I mean, God, I don't know how kids grow up with Facebook these days.
That's not even my problem. I'm just remembering like the 90s. I'm remembering growing up. And again, when I was a kid in the 90s, when I was a kid, I was like a teenager in the 90s. In the 90s, the big rebellion was like the slacker rebellion. Was kids being like, you know how you're all like rich and you have a job and you have all this stuff? Well, I'm not going to do it. Take that. And like that was the rebellion. That was the rebellion of the 90s, the big rebellion of the 90s. Like, you know, everyone's super rich and stable and has these great careers. F that. I'm going to wear a flannel and some jeans and sit around listening to music. Like, no teenager these days is saying, like, fuck prosperity, man. Like,
teenagers these days are really motivated and they don't drink and they don't smoke and they don't do drugs. And these teenagers, they're all afraid. God, they're way nicer than I was. Awful. They're going like, oh, whatever. Drug taking is as low. I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, there was always like every single day in the newspaper, another teenager died of a drug overdose. Blah blah blah. Terrible, obviously, but you don't see that anymore because it just doesn't happen like that anymore. They're not idiots anymore.
Oh, I'm way smarter than we were. I'm sure teenagers are idiots in their own ways. I'm not going to give them that much credit.
I don't. You see, I don't think the kind of risks that I took.
Oh, sure, I would agree.
Avocado and toast.
Yeah, avocado toast. You got to afford the avocado toast. No,
I mean, you were probably a better teenager than I was, but I feel like there was definitely a lot more risk taking when I was a teenager, and no one seemed to care.
Mm. Oh, I agree. And so, like, but I do think, again, like, I would like to be invested in a society and a system that I feel like I want to be part of a society that I can feel proud of or positive about, and that doesn't happen when half of that society is like working at slave wages. Like, it doesn't make me feel good to know that that's how it's going. It makes me feel upset. I don't like it. And maybe that makes me weird.
Do you know what? I'm way more selfish. I just don't want to think about, I don't want to think about charity and stuff. I just want my government to do that for me. Like, I don't want homeless people. I don't want to see them. So I want to make sure that the government gives them housing so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, no, that's something I remember thinking that when I was in Philadelphia, actually. Philadelphia had a lot of homeless people, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is super uncomfortable, and I sure wish these homeless people weren't here, because I don't like, it's uncomfortable to have to deal with being for the homeless people. I don't like, but if you told me that the big plan, your big plan for these homeless people was, you're going to up my taxes, and then you're going to provide them with a shelter and food and a path to a normal life, my answer to that would be like, awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because now I don't have to be in this uncomfortable situation, but I can also feel good because our way out of that is helping people. How great is it? This is great. I'm helping people and also able to be maybe a little selfish in that I don't have to deal with this social discomfort.
Yeah, it's just social discomfort. But yeah, Chiral and Sierra, stuff is expensive. You know what? Alcohol is expensive. Don't know what drugs cost. I wouldn't know what drugs cost, but alcohol is definitely on the expensive side.
Ooh. Look at these tiles.
Certainly compared to housing. So I was thinking, when I was talking to a student, and so when I went to university, I think we already said this, like it was like £30 a week, right? To rent a room to go to university. And that included my water and my electricity and everything, right? It was really cheap. But now these kids are paying thousands in rent, And I'm like, how? How are you doing this? Like, even though I was paying like that much like rent and it was really cheap, I still did not have money to like go shopping. I couldn't shop or anything. Like, I just had enough money for food and that was it. Like, I was really super poor to get through university and that was fine. But now when they're saying like, you have to pay 100 plus for your rent a week, I'm like, how would you manage? and study. It's not possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Not
the degree
possible.
gap, as someone who straddles a degree gap, it is insane. The fact that it's just an
Shocking.
expectation. Um, and the fact that it's just like everyone, like, and it's economic. Frankly, it's very economically beneficial for schools to say, "Oh yeah, you need a degree. You want to succeed in this world, you need a degree." And then again, this is
Yeah.
U.S. stuff because Europe has managed to avoid this trap. But like,
No, no. We're the same. That's what
oh
they
no
tell
no,
people
wait,
that you
the trap
do.
you're avoiding is this. Um,
Okay.
because the degrees are so expensive here, the students.
Mm.
This is one of my personal pet peeves that I'm always complaining about. But like, oh, that's a tough pick.
Yeah, no, I'm all right with this because I can easily upgrade. I'm
If you
okay
get
with
the five,
this.
yeah, if you get the five, it works. Or if you get the four, yeah, you got a few ways to upgrade. But
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah, the two would be a sad time.
but then you're told you need the degree, and then there's so many different sources of funding for students.
Mm.
Um, so it's now the student's job to go out and get these private loans and this government money and bundle all this money up and push it into the university. So basically, the
Hmm.
university's saying, "Oh yeah, you sure need this to get a job. I sure hope something doesn't, nice rest of your life you got there. I sure hope something bad doesn't happen to it. You better go out and bundle together $50,000 a year for my private university. Otherwise, I don't know, man. Maybe you'll just be a janitor." And so now the student goes out and pulls in all this free government money that we're offering because surely college is a way for people to have a future, so the government should be helping them. So now our government's shoveling money into these institutions, and like they just sit on it. They're like, "Oh great, all the money, how awesome!" They fire all their professors, they replace them all with interns, not interns, sorry, adjuncts, which are basically intern professors. Um, and that's not to be fair. I'm not shit talking the adjuncts themselves. I know many people who do that work, and they're smart people who want to do the work, but they're not given the rights of a full employee. Is the key thing there.
Yeah.
Um, and like, yeah, and all these kids go to college. The public schools are so bad. Like most of them don't have good reading and educational skills coming in the door, so they have to figure that out. And like, then congratulations, you have your bachelor's
Do you
degree
know?
just like everyone else, and like you can start at ground zero because everyone has a bachelor's degree now. Thanks for the money. Bye.
Yeah. Do you know what? I have a lot of degrees, and I have never had to prove I've got one once to get a job. Like I thought that this was like some sort of golden motherfucking ticket that would, like an employer would want to see it. No one has ever wanted to see
Well,
evidence. I could have told
I'm
them I
assuming
had
you
a
put it on your
degree
resume though,
anywhere.
right?
Yeah,
Okay. So they've never
but
demanded you
still,
validate
like,
it.
no. It seems weird. Does that not
Are
seem
you
weird to
sure
you?
that's true?
Yeah, I'm okay. To be fair, once my employer did ask for it, and I said, "Okay, sure, come and ask me next week." And then I did that for like 4 years. So I could have faked my way into
Oh my god.
that job.
Door throw. That's
No,
crazy.
honestly though, honestly, I've never actually been asked to validate my qualifications.
I have I will say I have multiple times been through employment processes where the last phase was a background check. And I would
Yeah,
assume that the background check company did validate any credentials that I put out there. Um,
I've had criminal record checks. I have had those.
but I'm assuming they did that not by
Don't
calling me about it, is the thing.
the criminal record check.
Oh well, yeah. You don't need to
Well,
talk to
they
me for the criminal record check.
no, they talk to the police.
Yeah, and it's the same thing for the background check. Like if they want to validate, I mean, I don't have a degree, frankly, but if they want to validate
Mm.
whether or not, ooh, that was a good hold there on that seven.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
This is a tough game, guys. Just
dropped
first.
us. Yeah, class A criminal,
Class A criminal.
class A criminal.
Yeah, Zaps knows about my. Yeah, I don't know. Like when I was in a position for hiring, I didn't even ask if they had degrees. I've got to be honest, because at least especially for languages, like it's much better just to test them. I've seen people with language degrees who could not work in that language, so I only ever relied on the test. So I would definitely recommend that people do not waste their
Hmm.
money on degrees.
I mean, for
I
me,
say
as someone without a degree, I'm very open to people who
yeah.
don't have degrees, and that's maybe some bias on my front. but like, I don't know.
I've been through the university system 3 times now, and I have slowly gained less and less respect for it with each experience. And I really think it
Mm.
was definitely devalued in the 10 years in which I participated in the system as well. I think the first it started off well. So definitely with my final experience in it, I was like, oh wow, this is literally just a checkbox exercise now for them.
Yeah.
Like they were not, you know, I wrote 2 theses for my final degree, and I swear to God, they did not read them. They were just checking to see if they matched some sort of template they had. I'm like,
Well,
is that a university level at that point? I don't think
that's
so.
the other big problem with education, and not just in America but everywhere, is that education is a difficult thing to verify, especially if you yourself are not educated. Like, if I oh my god, this is beautiful. It's toy half life. Like, if I, if my kids go to school, go to elementary school, I'd have to be a pretty smart person to be able to double check that they're getting good elementary education. And
Mm.
if I'm not that smart, if I'm not very well educated, um, I might not know. I might just be like, sure, I'd send my kids to school. Or, frankly, forgetting even my education level, busy, tired, overworked, any of the things that happen when you're not very wealthy, and have just a life where
Don't know
you're
how to
working a
do
lot.
new
Yeah,
math.
I don't have time to check on my kids and make sure their education's good. So is it good? I don't know. And it's the same thing with college. Like, what's a provably good college education? Now, some of the very high end schools still can say that they can prove that their education is good and gets good results. But for a lot of people, you go to college, you get a bachelor's. All right, I got it, hooray! And most companies assume that a bachelor's means like you're a person, not that you know anything. For most fields.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely some benefits in, having that kind of transition period. Certainly for me, I came from a rural area, and I think that's probably one of the big benefits I got out of going to university was having that transition from being a rural area where everyone knew each other to having to survive and make new friends in an urban area.
Mm.
And it would that yeah, for my first degree, okay, I learned Japanese, which is a verifiable skill. Actually, people did ask for my JPML level certificates. I haven't been asked for those, funnily enough.
Wait, your what?
So there's a Japan Professional Mahjong, JPML, JP. Oh my God, the
Isn't it
JLPT,
JNLP?
Japanese language.
Okay.
Yeah, the Japanese language proficiency test. If you do want a job in Japanese, I would recommend taking those tests because I have been asked to prove that.
I was gonna say I would
That
be
is,
very surprised if some job was like, I need your JPML certification, please. If they were straight up just like,
yeah,
look, you got to tell us about your JPML stuff. We really need
that
to
would be
know.
awesome.
It would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Thanks, Troll. Yeah, JLPT. Take that if
JLPT.
you are that's a legit piece
Hmm.
of paper. That one I would recommend that one highly. But where was I? What was I talking about?
And for the record, I don't want to be too much of a downer. I
Oh,
do believe legit certifications still exist. Like, there are some. You just have to think about
oh yeah,
which
yeah,
they
yeah.
are.
But yeah, sorry, as I was saying, I think that was my big takeaway. Apart from learning the Japanese, that was very good as well, obviously. But one of the other big takeaways was learning to live in a totally different environment in a safe way, right? Because if
Hmm.
something went wrong, there was always the university behind me to pick up the pieces. There was only so much that could go wrong in that environment. Oh, what am I going to do here? There much could go wrong in this environment, though.
Yeah, this is tough times. Just bailing.
We need
Well,
JPML
it's not really
qualifications in particular. Do you know what? I bet you I could get a job if I walked in my JPML. They'd be like, "Huh, at least this one's different."
Jeez.
You put on a CV like Mahjong. Yeah, you definitely do put on your CV that you like Mahjong. If you are going for a job, I would recommend that you put something interesting like a hobby on your certificate. Like, do it. Because you know what? Like sometimes we'd interview like 4 or 5 people in one day, and they all rolled into one boring mass of human, right? Dave, we can see you checking the Independent.
No, I know. I saw it,
So
and I
they
got rid of it. I hate
so
that.
they,
That's
they all, if you put an interesting hobby that can be discussed in the interview, you immediately become more memorable. And that's part of the,
yeah.
certainly in this current job market when there's so many people going for the same job positions, you want to stand out.
It's
You want to
super
stand out and be memorable.
tough when you're doing those like long chain interviews and it's like many people, and yeah, like you're just like, which, and it's not, again, not through any fault or like deliberate dismissiveness, but you definitely do get to this point where you're like, which person are you? I don't remember. I've seen so many people today. I'm sorry. Like I just can't. So yeah, having something
Yeah.
a little more unique about you can be
And
valuable.
there's lots of things you can argue about it as well. Like if you are heavily involved in your Mahjong community, that's always a plus. The fact that you have demonstrated that you can work with other people to make an event happen,
Hmm.
to, make content happen if that's what you're doing. Actually, there's so many great ways you can spin this. It's not just a hobby. It actually demonstrates really, and I've got three Dora. It demonstrates a lot
Oh
of
my god,
significant skills you can argue to an employer.
it's true.
I mean, someone told you that they'd won a chess championship, even if it was a local one, you definitely sit up and think,
All right,
right?
local ones
Oh,
count.
if you won against your nephew, then no one cares.
Yeah, I beat my nephew in chess. Hire me. Take that, you
I
nephew.
don't think I'd beat my nephew in chess.
What are we doing with all these tiles? The 3-so is so dead that the 2-so is now entirely safe.
Yeah, well, then they could be waiting on a single two
No,
so.
because they have one in
It
their
is the oh
calls.
oh they oh you're right, that is totally dead.
Yeah, so
Oh well.
2-so is now the safest tile out there because I
I
think it
lost to
cannot
a
be wanted at
grandmaster.
all.
A cruiser, you must be so disappointed with yourself.
Is that true? Yeah, that's true. Hey, look at me being smart.
Oh, did you watch Queen's Gambit? I did not watch that yet on Netflix. I don't think I'm curious or interesting enough, really. I'd have to have an interesting look.
Oh my, what
That's
is
Eldora.
this? What the heck has happened to you? This is my job.
This is the hand that I've got to win.
A little bit, yeah. What the heck? All right, I'll take it.
No, but you know what? Mahjong is better. So then you go in there like, oh, what is Mahjong? Mahjong better than chess because it is more collaborative. It's more collaborative. It's better. If you're a Mahjong player, I think you're a better choice of employee.
Hmm.
Toy Toy Dash, for sure.
Yeah,
Toy Toy
Toy
Dash
Toy
on this one.
Dash, and it's Hanemon if you get it,
Yeah,
which is
it's. Oh, I might. I
ridiculous.
mean, I'm happy. I'm happy actually if it's only the White Dragon. If I get the 8-so and a White Dragon, I'm fine with that too.
Oh, that's very generous of you.
Because I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried no one's going to throw the 5-man.
If they
That's a
might throw
sticky
it
one.
early, I could see maybe someone think they'd get away with it a little early.
Well, this is why I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna make a few more discards and then throw the 2. Hopefully, I'll do it now. Hopefully, someone cares about Nakazuchi. Hopefully.
Uh,
Do you can the Doors apps? That's a good question. No,
yeah, probably not. It doesn't
it
actually
doesn't.
improve the value of
Wait
the
a
hand.
minute. Toy Toy. It would. No, I don't need
No,
it, do
it
I,
take you
to
from
make
6 Han to
Hanema?
7 Han, so it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah,
Cruiser KTKM said it first. I'm giving credit.
yeah. Oh, thank you, Cruiser. All right, okay, you were reading off Cruisers. I was.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm gonna give credit.
I've got to see. I've got to think about. I'm having to might move this
It might
into
be
the White Dragon.
Tanya Dora 4.
How can I? The door is a 9.
Oh, never mind anything that I said because I'm incredibly dumb.
Sorry. I suspect someone's got the White Dragons, otherwise they'd have thrown them by now.
Possibly. If it was me, I'd be
Ah,
thinking
this
about
hand's
how
going.
isolated the Dora is now that the 8's been called.
No one's going to throw it. Ah, look at that. We're screwed now.
Maybe. You just get to, oh, yeah, that's why you should con. You should con for the Rinshan. The Rinshan will let you win.
I would.
That's how you do
Oh,
it.
yeah, but if I got the can now, I wouldn't. I'm not in tempo for that.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Give it a minute.
No, you can't check replays. Winchan.
Winshan.
Oh my god. No, it's not going to happen. This is the worst hand ever in my life.
Now you sound like me. I like this.
Red Dragon. Yeah, basically, this has been all the draws that don't push my hand forward,
Ooh.
right?
That might be good, though. The 4 being out of play. I don't know.
It might.
People aren't going to be interested in a 4-7 line. But there's not many tiles left to make this happen.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I can throw the 4-man probably. North? There's only one out though, isn't there?
There's 2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's 2 out. You got it. You got it.
Okay. No, they're all out.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's 2. I see them.
If only you knew the tiles beforehand.
This is disappointing.
And someone else wins a toy with your 5s.
East is strong.
But it does launch you into second place.
East is apparently an incarnation of the Buddha, though.
Oh.
Is Canon an incarnation of the Buddha? I don't remember. Do not remember my Buddhist law very well.
Oh, you should. That's an important form of law.
Even though so I went with Dave actually. There's this temple in Kamakura in Japan, and because they've got all these books, right? And you're supposed to read them if you want to be a good Buddhist or whatever. But there's a lot of them. So there's this little room where you can walk around and like push your hand across all of the tomes with all of the Buddhist texts, and that counts as reading them. Like Japan's got an answer for everything, I swear.
That's like you spin the sutra wheel, and that like counts in some way.
Kokshi? I've got a Dora though. Yeah, Guanyin is canon. Yeah, same.
Sorry, I'm checking all my phone shenanigans.
No, but I've got a Dora. I've got a 6-0 Dora. Has Trump said anything?
I don't know. Let's see what the. I don't think so. Let me check on my.
I'm really looking forward to it.
People here are celebrating like crazy.
Yeah, I did see some videos of people like. I'd really like to speak to. I'd like to speak to Pence. I know he won't speak to me because I'm a woman and therefore immediately a sexual predator.
He can speak to you if his wife is in the room watching him, I think.
I'm not up for that. That sounds really kinky.
It's a little weird. His wife, who he only refers to as mother, which is also super weird.
Wait, what? No.
Yep. Well, let me fact check. Let me be a reasonable person.
I hope not, because that's really concerning.
Let me make sure that's right.
I don't think it's right. Well, yeah, fact check. I'm also now very super careful of stuff that I say. I recognize that I've also read enough of bullshit nonsense. Oh, she's a Buddha. Thank you, Guanyin, and Canon is a Buddha. Yeah, it's very difficult though because there's so much as Buddhism has moved across towards the east, it's picked up a lot of different mythologies and stuff as it's gone along. Can I say mythologies? I don't mean to be rude to anyone's religion.
So this is an anecdote about him calling his wife mother. It is not verified or officially supported by his office, so I have no idea. It is an anecdote that people say that he did this.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. It was also in the middle of a crowded party, according to this anecdote. It's I don't know. Sometimes what you'll shout what you shout to get someone's attention across the room isn't necessarily exactly what you call them all the time. So I don't know. I'm gonna say it's slanderous to insist.
Yeah, my dad calls my mom sometimes, in my brother's presence, because that's just, I guess that's the thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's fair to claim.
Guanyin is, she's a bit of a meme.
Your mom?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a meme.
No, but yeah, I'd really like to talk to Pence. I'd like to understand that man. I think that would be interesting.
Well, he's had a great job. All he had to do was just stand there.
I know, he's really done very little. Again, because Jared Kushner has done most of what I'd expect he would do. I would not like to speak to Jared Kushner. That man creeps me out. He really creeps me out. He looks like he should be on a mortuary slab. Not that I'm wishing that. He just looks very unwell.
Have a lot of feelings about what you just said.
No, let me clarify. Let me clarify. I do not wish any harm on anyone. But he looks very unwell. Very unwell. Like he hasn't seen vegetables for a long time.
Are you going for a 2-3-4 Sanchoku? Is that what I'm seeing?
Always.
Oh my god. Is that
I
your
think I
snake?
overreached
Is that your
though, mate.
snake always?
Romania small parents refer to their kids as small mom and
Is it
dad.
always Sanchoku Gemma?
It's always Sanshoku. That's my gambit. That's the Queen's gambit. Sanshoku.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's only South 1. This is a long game too.
Yeah, it took really long to get in.
Yeah.
That was really the
Ugh, a reach. This is rough.
um, so I've got some people coming to join us on Final Fantasy 14, and one of them just messaged me going, "I'm going to make a Harris Elven to go into the game."
Oh, what are you doing?
I don't know, but I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. That was quite stressful then for a second.
Uh,
Come on, if I pull this off, it'd be amazing.
it would be amazing.
I won't
It's
pull it
just really
off.
rough.
I can't throw the 7. I can't throw the 7, can I? I can. I do it anyway. I can't. It's bad choice. That
You
was a
did
bad,
it.
bad choice. Yes, sir.
And you got away with it.
The 6. I'm really concerned about this 6.
The 6 is concerning. Uh, hold
Can't.
that pinfu.
Got a dammer. Gotta get the
Got that 147
Sunshoku.
weight.
Ah, I got away with this before, so it's fine.
Yeah, you can toss it. You want to upgrade if you can, but is it? Oh, well, you could move to 345.
I bet I can't get Sunshoku in that.
That's true.
No, it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, this is
Doesn't matter.
rough. You needed that.
I know. Well, we're in South 1. I'm second. I've got a great
All right.
weight.
Well, 2 people just threw 2 so's, so that's 2 of them you weren't gonna get already.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Look, there you go.
Whoa!
They got really unlucky with those Doras.
Wow.
Because they threw 2 of those 8 pins as well.
Oh, after reach, yeah, that sucks. Oh no, it's a double roan. All right, hey.
Yeah, it's double run. Yeah. I really like Felicity's surname, Fare Thee Well. That sounds like legit. I like that a lot.
That's a good turn. It's a very what's his face. Your Cornwallian hero. Poldark. It's very
Yeah.
Poldarkian.
Oh, Poldark.
It's a Poldarkian.
It's very Poldark.
Yeah.
Am I going back to Japan next year? I hope so, if they ever let me in again.
Yeah, like, I would
It's
love to
kind
go
of
anywhere.
complicated. I think they'll let me back in now on the visa I have. I think I'd have to double check. I'm not confident. But even if they did, I'd have to go to the embassy and get a special certificate. And then I also have to take like a special test, which I don't think is standard in the UK. They're not taking the
test?
right tests for Japan or some
What's the
such
test
nonsense.
for?
So that I didn't have coronavirus. And then, but of course, because we're in lockdown, I'm not really supposed to move anywhere. Yeah, within 3 days, right? With results included, and that's just impossible in this country. Nothing moves that fast, and I'd have to stay in London for 3 or 4 days, I imagine. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I paid for a test privately, I could get one quite quickly. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my feelings about Japan are at the moment. It's a difficult one, that one. I really want to go, but I also don't want to, you know, I don't want to leave my parents either, because at the moment I do all their shopping, because they are self-isolating at the moment. Partly because my dad's kind of ill anyway, so if he gets it, it's sad times for him. Um, I don't really want to abandon them in this country whilst I go off on a jolly in Japan. Which I guess demonstrates I have grown up since I was a teenager. Because I'm pretty sure as a teenager, I'd have just gone, wee, bye. Love you, Mom. See you on the other side. Yeah. Yeah, I think lockdown is just awful, like, flat out. Like, I really am not enjoying it. But then, like, for people who are like, oh, we don't need to do lockdown. My friend's brother, actually, he's only like a year older than me. He got coronavirus and ended up on a ventilator. So it's, yeah, right. Like, it's stories like that which remind me that, there was a purpose for all of this. Yeah, do you know what? Like lots of people think I find the home isolation really bad. Like, it's not so much the staying at home; it's the fact that you can't do anything non-essential outside. Like, I don't know. Like, it's maybe it's my problem with authority more than the actual activity. I don't know. I don't like it, and like my life has just changed so dramatically as well. Like, I was traveling. Like, I think I totted it up that I spent 90 days in hotels last year. Like,
Jeez.
I traveled a lot and I did a lot of things. Like, I wasn't home all that often, and I really liked my life. And now it's just changed entirely. Like, and it's
What is this sumo?
it's having to. I know, right? It's having to adjust to a new way of life that you didn't really choose or even expect. They fired fireworks. I fucking hate people who use fireworks.
Oh my God.
Like, I know there's no commercial displays this year, but I fucking hate home firework displays. Oh, there's loads for you to do. Yeah, that's nice. Gotta think about a Cheeto here, right?
Cheeto, yeah. You're Ishon 10 on it now.
No, you know what? It's not that rich, because if you stay at the Appa, it's like five
The
times
Appa's like
a
10
day.
bucks a night. The Appa's incredible, especially during peak times. It's really cheap.
Oh yeah, just choose the smallest room without any nice things, and because they've already got like a little fridge in there anyway, you can do stuff really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to buy fancy drinks or anything. You got your own little fridge there. Nah, it was like no money whatsoever.
The Appa's not that uncomfortable, even if the room is small. Like, it's fine. I've learned to exist in that room just fine.
Yeah, and they got good Wi-Fi. Nah, not in no nice Ryokan. And to be fair, I do also have some family in Japan as well. So when I'm in Japan, I can stay in a actual apartment, which does help.
Why didn't you hold that one, man?
Okay, it was a good question.
Yeah, alright.
I
feel
think
like you've always said for
I'd have
Cheeto you
to
want to push it to the edge.
Yeah, but I know, but I don't really want to break up these shapes just in case I decide it's not a Cheetoy.
Fair.
Like, I'd have to break up this 5 shape and the 788 shape, and I'm just not sure, even though Cheetoy is probably my primary Yaku, whether I want to do that. Now I'm going to have to do something absolutely hellish. I can't reach.
You could.
I've got to reach this, because I can never throw that 4-pin. 5-8. God.
Well,
if only I'd
luckily
chosen.
for you, it avoids the Sanshoku.
But it was a Mangan into the dealer.
Yes. But if it had been the 8, it would have been Sanshoku as well. It would have been the worst.
That hurt.
That was an unfortunate series of events. Ugh.
But I do have the last shift, so I'm 38 minutes on the clock.
Oh my God, I keep getting
Yeah, that's why it's exactly why I chose the 5-pin over the 4-pin for the Dorasuji. And that's why those sneaky weights are really difficult.
Sorry, I'm checking up on
Don't underestimate those.
buzzing like a crazy.
My phone's also buzzing. What's going on? No one helped me when I had a problem. I don't think helping you guys. Sorry.
So rude.
Like I like when my Germans had the big fight, I went onto like the Gerbil Discord, which exists. I never been on there, and I was asking people for advice, and everyone ignored me. And now someone else has posted with like some gerbil-based problem, and they're not. I'm like, I'm not going to help you. No one help me. That's how you make a positive community.
Oh yeah.
Don't you damn that hand discard an 8-pin as dealer? Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe Felicity knows me better than and knows how to make me throw in.
Ooh.
I think Felicity's been doing quite well. Not as well as Canon, but you know, Canon's channeling Buddha's powers, so I can't compete with that.
Maybe yeah, you have to like accept. It's your attempts to hold on to your points that are what's really holding you back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm too materialistic when it comes to Timbot.
Hmm.
Moriyama power.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I should show you guys the picture. Oh no, I can't. I can't do it whilst I can maybe.
Oh, finish the game. I got some time.
Let me see. It is an amazing picture of Moriyama though. Like I'm really jealous because it came yesterday. Oh god.
Why?
I don't want to. I should let go, shouldn't I?
I would. This is not necessarily the time. Oh, but.
What's really sad is I could have a sand shock if I kept that too.
Yeah, but I bet you'll win on the 6. Oh,
Yeah,
that's not true. But the 3 is hard safe.
The 3 is hard safe on the dealer. But you know what? Now that I've seen that they wait on that kind of thing, I'm not sure if I'm afraid of them. I'm not afraid of. I shouldn't be afraid of the 2 and the 4 because of the way I've seen the Felicity wait in the past.
Hmm.
And yeah, she's not doing a regular Pinfu wait there.
Yeah.
Even though she had an 8-man and could have had Pinfu there.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I've got that read. I don't really have to worry so much about the normal reads for Pinfu.
It depends on whether they're like.
I'm going to get a drink because I'm going to. Don't have COVID.
Ugh.
I'm south, aren't I? Double south, so I should keep that.
You are double south. Oh, I'm surprised you throw the West. Well, you have other pairs. You have Paradora.
Yeah.
This is your time to shine. Here we go.
I know, but what? Where's my Yaku?
Oh, you could have been real close to Chitoy.
Could have been, but I suck. I'm kind of hoping I can get my value on her though. South or Green Dragon.
That would be nice.
Yeah, then I could just call it through. 6, 7, 8 Sand Shock.
Oh my god.
Getting desperate. Did you watch any of the IRRMC, by the way?
I didn't get a chance to.
It's really
know.
not a good time. It's a not good time period for you anyway, right? It would have been like earlier for you. I don't know. Did any of the Americans get through to the top 32? Was it? Let me double check. We have one Brit who got through.
You're a 6. Oh, you passed. Okay.
Yeah, Chris Rowe got through from the UK.
Oh, nice.
Let me tell you all the people that we know. Frederick Lay from France. I'm not sure I know that player. Olga Alexieva from from Russian Federation. Don't know that player. Ooh, can I do? Tobias Gut from Austria. I do not know this player. Yeah. Oh, Claire Pozniak. I know she is very popular on the streets. I'm gonna throw the door. I'm gonna do it.
Oh
Claire Pozniak from the States. So she got through. She was in 8th place. That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, good for Claire. Good for Chris, obviously. Korak, who is a popular kid on the Discord, just missed out on top 32, 33. I think top 32 is the ones that get to go through. Oh, Anthony from the States also managed to get through. Anthony was at 25.
Oh, wow.
I can't say your surname, Anthony. I'm sorry, so I'm not even going to attempt it because I would make. Yeah, there's some good. So the top is China, France, and Japan at the moment, which is.
What do you think about this?
Maybe not.
It's probably not worth calling.
No. Don't know. Oh, really? You again?
It's
I
Chun.
knew someone in school called Felicity, and they weren't very nice to me either.
Oh my god.
Oh, so Korak did. I don't know where the cutoff was. I thought it was top 32, but maybe I didn't understand the format. France got top team in the preliminary. That's great.
Do you just call this to end these shenanigans?
I got a call for value, mate. I've got a call for value. But there's no value here, is there? Oh, yeah, these are shenanigans. These are shenanigans, though.
Ooh. Alright, hold on. I'm seeing some opportunity here.
No.
No.
No, I'm going to call the West. Now things are looking up.
Yeah, well, what suit do you to get rid of?
I'm the East because I want to make sure that I'm not helping the dealer any more than I already have.
Okay. Well, you got
2, 3, 4 Sanshoku.
Oh my god. I mean, all right. It's not the worst plan. I'm not gonna crap on you for that.
It gives me. If I get the white dragon, yeah, change.
Yeah, I changed your mind on the white dragon. No.
Yeah. Now I could have Chitoi or Toy or just Chun.
Oh, yeah, so white dragon's already come out. It's not so terrible.
No.
Yes, it's true. The near Sanchoku is crazy. Suanko is possible. I mean, Sananko is fine.
Possible.
Chun Sananko is fine. Sanchoku Doko. Oh, that would be if you get that other 3, you got to do it. You can't not do it.
I almost got it the other day. It was really frustrating, Doko. That's almost Sanchoku. It doesn't quite come off. Magnet confirmed. Yeah, I don't know why people want magnets of Kokshi. You never see them. We got Dorapon opposite me though. No cans.
No, it's not worth it at this point.
Oh, I feel like I've had some good opportunities and they've just kind of fallen really flat, haven't they?
Yeah, you've gotten like big draws that just didn't happen.
You're overreacting like it. Yeah, Emily Cast is always like, Kokshi? So I'm like, really? Really? You can't just say big Yaku names. Maybe it's like manifestation, you know? Like, I've won Pennsylvania. I've won Doko. I won Pennsylvania. Right, okay.
Alright, there you go. This is your time. It's your time for the Sanshoku. It's your time. What you get again? Reach Sanshoku Chun is Mongon with any flip. That's Hane.
There's my 4. There's all my 4s.
No.
I really wish I kept that one so now.
It'll be okay. You'll get the last one. I believe in you.
It's cooking. Don't advertise this. It's okay. It's okay. Just if I don't have to be a fan of the client for me to approve of your work.
Oh, this is rough.
This is rough.
Force come out 7 safe. Should be okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No.
It's not gonna come.
Oh, there's
I'm
a
gonna
3
call
for
it.
Sanshoku Doko. Yeah, I would probably call it at this point just to be ready.
I'm gonna call it into
Oh, it's a
Tenpai,
sumo.
but yeah.
Tanya door 4 is Hanemon. No, it's not.
And
I'm
I'm
sorry, it's
in.
just Magan.
Yeah, that puts me firmly in last.
Ugh. Ugh. All right, but you're the dealer. This can happen. Just get a Sugoi High Pie.
Someone did send me. Someone did send me an hilarious,
Okay.
hilarious soul shot of the suspected pedophile
I see a 345 Sanshoku in your future.
walking small children down the street. Yes, I do see 345 Sanchoku as well.
This could be good. This could be I mean, Pinfu is actually going to be hard to come by with this hand. This could end up
I'm
being
gonna be
Sanshoku
really-
door too.
I'm going to be really aggressive.
Do it.
I'm going to call it like, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I
Sanchoku
would've
door
done
2.
that.
Really, you'd have kept the 9?
I don't know.
Phone the.
No, the only reason I would have kept the 9 is if I thought I could get the last Dora, and I don't think that I could.
No, there's already one out. I'm not that worried about that.
Yeah.
But that's great. I'm really glad. Chill out. There
Yeah,
are
it's really
nonsense
cool.
in Mahjong, so I don't think we can say that word anymore, though. I don't know.
Ugh.
It makes me uncomfortable, but I'm not sure why.
Oh, that's one of your words. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
problem
God.
with that word, I think, is because some people attached it to a sexual orientation as well, which obviously, you know, trying to paint all of those people as lawbreakers. See, this is why I'm not going to do the Sanshoku. It's not going to happen. I have to do this, right? have to go-
Probably, yeah.
I have to towards the Tenpai.
Yeah, you can't
How is
not.
sexual orientation? So people say that gay men are nonsense here to slander them, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, it's. I said it's a cultural thing. Maybe I'm not sure if everyone uses it in the same way, but
Jesus. Well, your
So
seven
it's
month's
not-
probably safe.
it's not. Yeah, it's not necessarily.
Oh, come
The way you're using
on.
I really feel like I deserve better.
You do actually deserve better, I think. This is the dumbest thing, and I'm sorry. Oh my God.
It's okay. I'm alright. You know what? I've had some really good rated games this week, so I'm okay if this is. My rated games have been hot stuff, so I'm okay if this is where it all goes wrong. Yeah, I'll watch you. I'll let everyone watch me go wrong.
Wait a minute. I know who's across from you.
That's what nonce means.
Hold on. How did it take me
Yeah.
so long?
What, Ipatsumo?
Yeah. I know who
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah. He's in our guild.
Yeah, I just didn't even
Ah,
read the name. I wasn't even
balls.
looking. Ah.
Balls.
Ah.
Can I play again, Dave? Because I'm really unhappy with that. I don't want to finish like that.
It's like 242 though. I mean, oh, Coletta says it's the first time they see the Final Fantasy Reach.
Racist.
Well, I hope not. That sounds bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's one of those weird words that kind of sounds cute. I don't know.
It has
It's
other
strange.
meanings in some. I've heard it used in like technical documentation to mean.
I definitely
specific
put it
things.
into a greater context.
Yeah.
I definitely put it into a greater context. I do dare stream alone. I haven't done it for ages, but maybe I should now we're on lockdown again. Like last lockdown, I spent mostly crying, so I couldn't stream.
That's
This lockdown, I've
terrible.
cried less, so maybe I can stream. Yeah, look.
That's That's a great picture. I need that like hanging on my wall.
Like, yeah, I would salute this picture every day.
Every day, every day. It's the best. He looks so serious.
Yeah, I bet he was super, super handsome when he was younger. He's
Oh
got
yeah,
like
duh.
that, like this is Moriyama. This is the president of the JPML, the Japan Professional Mahjong League. But do you know what's really nice? So I asked, because these are the prizes. Some people will be getting prizes in the post final. I'm sorry if you played in the festival and you're expecting your prizes. Because of the COVID and the restrictions in Japan, it's taken a real long time for us to get them logistically. But I now have them, so I can send them out. But they were like, "Oh, we'll send you." Some people get some clear files. I was like, "Oh, that's great." And I was like, "But can we not just have all the ladies? Because every time they just send like, you know, these pictures of like just the JPML girls." And I'm like, I'm not quite sure that that's what motivates and inspires like a lot of the Western community, at least. Like, we definitely treating it a lot more like, you know, like soccer or football. In the, you know, you go to buy a soccer magazine, it's got a picture of a soccer player on it, you know, like not just like a sexy girl or whatever.
Hmm.
I think people definitely are more interested in people that they aspire to be rather than someone that they would like to screw. Yeah. Oh, your Doman Mahjong set was delayed. Oh, yeah. It's been really, really difficult. Like, no, of course, if you would like to fancy Mahjong ladies, I'm not saying you shouldn't fancy the Mahjong ladies. I just think that there is definitely like a lot of people out there who want. Yeah, it's, you know, especially because in Japan they you know, a lot of it's sold on, you know, sexiness and all of that, and I think our thing's a little bit different. Photo of Maya Harim foamy bath. I'm not sure I want that. Okay, do you know what? I'll get them all so we can have a look at them. You can judge them all.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on, let me switch back to being big cameras.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really sorry about your. Oh, he is handsome. I am. Yeah, I'm sorry about your. It's been really difficult. Like some post offices, they were even just refusing to accept international shipping. They're like, we're not shipping internationally. I'm like, you know, you can't get COVID if you send it out. You know, you're going to get COVID if you send it in. Taki.
Hey.
Very popular. That's actually not a great photo of him. He's actually better looking in real life. Like I think this black background is actually making him look kind of tired.
Yeah, that's true. He could use a brighter background, brighten him up a little.
Yeah, because Hisato, who generally looks tired, has got a bright background and he's looking handsome.
It's good. No, these are good pictures. I want prizes.
Oh, and Adam Driver Pro. Yeah,
Adam
we
Driver
told
Pro,
them,
yeah.
right? We messaged. They were like, everyone in the West thinks he's Adam Driver, and Kuroki was like, he does look like Adam Driver. Kizawa. Maya Hada looking serious. Do you know what? The funny thing is, Maya Hada smiles all the time.
That's so weird.
So to see him like this, right?
Yeah, I see it. Whenever I've seen him, he's been pretty happy. Pretty jolly person.
He's a super jolly guy, like really amenable, and then like serious. He's had to show the flame background. Hey, Linda. There you go. Yeah, link people's streams if you want to share them. We are not, you know, and we're not that bad about the software will not speak up. So that's Yamawaki. If you went to the French qualifier, which is almost exactly a year ago now, you would have met her.
Hey.
Sugiwara.
Everyone looks so happy.
Yeah, Aki.
Yeah, ladies get to look nice. The men always have to look super serious.
I know, right? Like they're smiling. They get to wear their own clothes.
Nice like that's nice. The guy's like in a suit and he's just like, I swear to God. All these ladies
so
are having a nice time.
Don't worry. I left the best one for you for last.
Oh.
See, I didn't say they couldn't send the sexy ones. I just asked for them to, like, you know, send a spectrum.
And assortment,
you know?
yeah. Give us many different things for people who might want many different things.
There's Marita. That's quite a. And she's super nice anyway. Plus, she's really good at mahjong. It's actually a nice bikini. That's a good color for her. But yeah, look, they've got like a yellow background for the ladies. Aki's here in a park somewhere. Like, but the men, no, white, black, serious.
Yeah, they
Anything
gotta
good.
be on. These guys have to be focused.
Yeah, I don't know. I do wonder, like, because Okada has
Hmm.
now joined as well. When did she join? She must have joined 2 years ago now. And but I'm not sure idol, but she's definitely like she's a model, and she's done some sort of gravure stuff now with Maddie. But Okada's super smart. Like she went to Tokyo University or something for pool mahjong. I want to meet all these people so badly. Cruiser, you can at the next WRC
True. Next
2021. It's gonna
WRC.
happen. It's gonna happen. Please, God, please let it happen.
I would actually grab your pictures of men. I don't know, man. I would JPML like men of JPML calendar would be an interesting calendar to sell.
No, I think you could. Like, I don't know. Like,
Maybe. I mean, some people
first of
like this
all,
stuff regardless. Like, that can be
I'm
cool for
gonna
some
say,
folks.
like we've got a bigger people
Oh my
can
God,
be
so
more open about their sexuality in the
jeez.
West, which means we've got, even though we've got a large male playing population, we've also got a lot of guys who like other dudes. So I'm sure there's plenty of
I mean,
men who want to see a male calendar as well.
for the record, some women like to look at men too. Everyone likes to look at people, and there's a market for anything. And no shame to anyone.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm quite happy to have a calendar of the Mahjong girls as well. I don't know. I just like it if it was,
You know what, Siri? I'm going to assume that's not true, just for my own dignity.
Yeah, that's not true, man.
I'm going
No,
to assume
not
that's not
at all.
true. I'm going to assume.
And like how old's Cliff Richard now? Someone must know how old Cliff Richard is. He's still doing topless
Who's
pictures
Cliff
for his
Richard?
thing. Oh my God, who is Cliff Richard? I'm not sure how I answer that question as a Brit. Like everyone knows who Cliff Richard is. Who is Cliff Richard? God, yeah. Let me find out how old he is for you to start off with. He's 80 years old, and he still does a topless calendar every year.
Oh my God. Yo, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, exactly. No, anyway, you should. Yeah, exactly. How do you not know who Cliff is? Thank you, Mercedes. Thank
Who's
you.
Cliff Richards? What did he do? I don't know.
That is crazy.
It's a singer? Oh, I'm not going to know anything about a singer.
Do you know what? I also think they could because they like actually their calendars are more like you get like the set of 12 cards, so they could do a girl version and a boy version for each month, and then you could just pick which ones you
Pick
wanted.
the ones you want, yeah. Yeah, we should tell them. We should let them know that the men have their fans too.
Yeah, like and I think plenty of men would want a calendar of men. They don't have to be. I have more respect for men than some men seem to have respect for men, and I'm pretty sure you all,
Yeah.
aspire to be
I don't know. I don't know about
things.
that. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Like
in a broad sense.
I've seen like I've got plenty of football fans in my life, and when they have their football calendars, they're not pictures of girls. They're pictures of men playing football.
Yeah, yeah. Pictures of your stars doing the things that they do. I feel like it would be nice to have more action shots also of the mahjong men, like playing mahjong. Like so you have a picture of them up, and like, what does that guy do? Because if I put one of those posters up, it's just gonna be a man in the suit like glaring at you, and it's like, who's that?
Yeah,
and like, why?
Yeah, they've got to work on their poses maybe, but like,
Or like if I have a football star
what,
that I like and I put up a poster, it's like them holding the football. No one's like, who's that and what are they doing? They're like, oh, it's a football player that you like, and that's why you have the poster, so it all makes sense.
But my favorite photo I've seen actually is of Yamai, and because Jamie took it and he got the reflection of the mahjong tiles in his eyes.
Ooh.
It was such a cool shot, and I'm like, that's the kind of picture you want, because that's the kind of thing, like when you watch Akagi and stuff, you're like, I want to be that guy, right? And that's when you see that, you're like, I want to be that guy.
That's cool. I like that a lot, actually. So what I'm hearing from people here is that they want a mahjong calendar. We want to do a Western mahjong calendar. Is that what I'm hearing? I feel like I'm getting this vibe somehow.
I don't know how we would do it. Like, we could do one, but that could be our lockdown project. Everyone has to take a photo.
Mahjong calendar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will say, if we do this, there is going to be we have to put some rules on it. We should say nothing worse. I don't even know if we want to go to R-rated, but like nothing overtly pornographic, please. Reasonably decent pictures of all of us. Oh God, there is not one, for the record. There's just the busted ass old one. There just happens to be a little less of it than usual.
no one is super toned after this year, man.
Yeah,
Like
no.
anyone who's entered 2020 toned is now fat and flabby like the rest of us. It's not fashionable to be toned in 2020. That means you've been
It's
breaking
not.
lockdown.
Yeah, it means I've been out and about doing stuff that people don't want to. Anyway. Um,
I do have a stack of books actually. Maybe I should do that for the next stream. I should tell you what I read, like, and what I learned.
just if I do
I
recommend
find it.
rewatching Akagi if you know how to play now. It can be really fun to follow along with more detail and like understand that it actually is a lot of really cool stuff going on.
This guy has colourful hair all the time, at least.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. These books all look fucking serious, though. There's a lot of text in them. I set myself this goal, and I'm like, really? There are here 7 books and only 4 weeks of lockdown. Well, I say 4 weeks.
Yeah. All right.
You're in way better shape about Office Candy, huh?
I need to get moving because it's 3 o'clock and we got a lot of celebrating to do in this town. Lockdown fitness challenge. Yeah, Lockdown fitness challenge.
I hope you're not gonna celebrate. You're not gonna go outside. Are you allowed to go outside?
Celebratory. I want to do something celebratory.
Okay.
But I don't want to go to a giant. No, a lot of people are going out and being all together. I don't want to do that because it's not a good idea. But I want to see if there's something positive that I can do today that's going to be like, hooray. Also, I'm covered with light. All the sun's all in my face. But I want to do something good. It's a good time. I'm feeling really good about the world. 10 push-ups after every raid/boss wipe.
Maybe the demon rats can be a.
Rats, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't wipe. I've never wiped.
They can be a final boss in Final Fantasy.
God.
They just throw fraudulent ballots at you.
God. Oh, but it's been a nice day. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Gemma, for playing.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Your lengthy, mighty game. Which, even though it didn't turn out the best for you, was still very entertaining and good to watch. And thank you for enduring our chatter during this time. We'll be a little more normal later.
Next time I'll try and be a better Mahjong player.
I think you were a fine Mahjong player. It just didn't, like, turn out well for you. Which is kind of like not...
No, I made some errors. That's fine.
Too aggressive towards Sanshoku.
Yeah, that's the problem. How do I stop broadcasting?
You may never stop broadcasting. You must always share. Yeah, trust you.
Thank you.
It's rough.
Thank you, Cruz. Thank you, Chiral. Thank you, Mahjong Backup.
Thank you all. All right. We'll see you next week when it's less emotionally cathartic and more Mahjong-y. But have fun. Play Mahjong. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye for now to the thingy. And then to the...